6:45. So it's springtime, and you may get a knock on your door. A contractor may be there offering his service to fix this or that. Should you just go ahead and have the work begin? Let's talk to Stephan Sardone. He's a home remodeling expert at SardoneConstruction.com. Stephan, great to have you here.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
Yeah. Now, in your company, do you ever do anything like that where maybe you're driving through an area or you're in a neighborhood and you see a project that you could pursue and just knock on the door?
No, we never have.
Uh-huh.
I think maybe in the early days, we did certainly do door-to-door flyers, and half of our business does come from referrals and from friends and whatnot. But no, I never just showed up and said, "Hey, them gutters look like they're falling off."
Right. Now, nowadays, should you immediately reject that kind of an approach as a customer?
I think I have never heard of it. This report that came out where people come to your door and say, "Can I fix stuff?" The only people I've ever known that do that are roofers.
Uh-huh.
And I think there's nothing wrong with someone coming to your door, but just because they're at their house doesn't mean you should trust them. And I think you should go about the hiring process the same as if you found them on the internet and you were vetting them for any other project.
Right. Emily's List, is that something that's reliable nowadays, or?
I think there's a lot of great lists out there. Emily's, Angie's, the Better Business Bureau, Google Reviews, Yelp. There's a lot of stuff out there.
Mm-hmm. You said Yelp, too, with all the reviews, that kind of thing?
Yeah, absolutely. But those reviews do not equal a good decision for the homeowner. They can take those, and they have to weigh those with everything else. They should absolutely meet the contractor and find out what it is. Do I like this person?
Personally, but what are the kinds of things a really good contractor? What is he or she going to tell you at the outset that tells you I should go ahead with this?
Well, I think first and foremost they're going to offer other people that they've done work for and say, "Here, you can call them anytime you want and ask them how it went." They're going to offer that up for you.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to put a legitimate-looking contract in there. They're going to walk it through with you. They're not going to pressure you.
In terms of the money, how clear is that? How clearly is that established initially?
It's not right away. I mean, budget is definitely an important conversation to have at some level at the very first meeting at the client's home, because who knows where this is going to be, and everybody needs to be on the same page that we're talking the same things. A client who expects a $100,000 kitchen for $20,000. Expectations need to be changed or people need to move on.
Okay, so you meet with them, and then you sign the contract and then you're locked into the project?
Well, actually, we meet first, and then we go back to our office, and we really write a scope and a proposal just to see if we can wrap our mind around this. Let's process this project. Let's design it. And really our next step after meeting the client is writing a design proposal, which is just a contract for design and not for construction. Only at the end of the design can we really understand what everybody wants. And only then can we write a contract that is honest enough to include everything so everybody's clear on what they're getting.
The contract will specify a timeline for the work?
Yeah, it should. It should say we should be able to do this in this many days, this many weeks, with this scope. Now,
tell me this: if the work begins, right, and it's not moving at the right pace, what is it that someone can do at that point?
The client or the contractor?
The client, of course. Yeah.
If it's not moving at the right pace, first the client should be meeting with their GC on a weekly basis and reviewing everything and saying, are we on schedule, and show me what's going on. They don't have to, monitor them like they're babysitting and everything, but it's the contractor's job to keep the client informed and manage their expectations and make sure they understand everything that's happening. If it becomes clear or a concern that the project is going over too long, they need to, they need to ask the contractor, so what can we do about this? What are you going to do? What benchmarks do we need to put in place now? And the thing is, no homeowner should ever have to do that. That's why they hire a contractor.
To manage
and if that's
the
the
things.
thing, that's a scary thing.
Yeah. Well, it's Stephan Sardone, home remodeling expert. His website's sardoneconstruction.com. Stephan, thanks for the good advice.
Thank you so much for having me. Y'all have a good one.
You too.